Yeah.
All right, and Coach Yeagley, let's take your questions.
How special is it that a guy like Jansen, who's given so much to this program, gets the game-winning goal?
That was great. We haven't like joked, but we've said, Janet, we got to get a restart here at some point. So he's been close, and on the recycle restart to get a goal, great timing. It's going to help him just with confidence, and most importantly, that's what matters. Didn't really matter who scored, but I think a really good player to score to give us confidence that our second phase of restarts have been pretty good, and we got rewarded. We haven't had a golden goal a long time, and that I almost wasn't ready for it myself because it's so sudden. I knew the rule was golden goal, but since we haven't had it in regular season for 2 years now, it took me a second to realize that it's over.
You talked about your disdain for golden goal. Do you feel differently now that you won with it today?
Well, of course, I'm going to feel better when we win with it. I do think it's, the sun was a factor in that first. We lost the toss. So I thought, I still would be not opposed to not doing golden goal. But I do feel that the better team will win over the 20 minutes if you just play it out. But in this case, we'll take it and move on.
When their starting keeper went down, it was like right before halftime. Did you guys try to change anything to go right at them?
We did want to be more aggressive. We didn't. We were a little bit off, and my worry was the 17 days off. No matter how you prep, it's hard. I felt it almost took a little bit of going the first half to just get everyone back in. The goal kind of stung them a little bit, but we had some good words at half, and like this is our season. You're going to go swinging, and the guys did swing second half. They came out and just laid it out, and they weren't like house on fire, like crazy. Leave everything in the back, like leave everything in danger, but they were just more aggressive. Our second balls were better. That was a game where it wasn't going to be a real, like, methodical who's going to have the ball. It was going to be a little bit of second balls, territory, chance, and then get it again. Because both were not going to have, we weren't going to let them get rhythm. And you saw how fatigued they were. They don't want to play at the tempo. They haven't played our schedule. Our Big Ten's a much tougher schedule, and I felt that we could really get going out in the second half, and that you could see that it was just a matter of time. I felt we would get the goal.
What got you a little bit more? I felt like you had a little more control after halftime, just kind of keeping the ball, moving them around a little bit.
Yeah, we just did better. Again, it's a bit of a territorial. We did a better job on our build, on where we thought we could, our decisions. We spun them around a little better, so we got more dangerous and behind them, which then softened up our midfield. So I thought we just mixed it up better. A couple more short builds, got them behind them, that softened them up. They dropped a little bit. We got some corners, some throws, and then we started to play in the midfield and just kind of get territory. And then I thought we moved the ball well in the front half and got around the corners well, served some great balls in. Once Barger went in, we knew we'd be more aggressive. We wanted the keeper to be part of the game at halftime. We said, let's put in balls. And the ball behind the back is a tough ball because the keeper hasn't played a lot. It's a tough decision. And the ball's bouncing. It's not an easy finish for Justin, but it's when the keeper's in between, it makes the easy decision. So I felt like it was coming, and luckily it did in the second half.
And then just Jansen's goal, the game winner.
Yeah.
Your thoughts about that?
I felt really good going in overtime. You could see them leaving the field dejected. They did not have much bounce. You'd think they're almost like, here's our second chance to, get going, because they didn't have a great second half, and yet they were quiet. And our guys sensed. I didn't say a word about it. They were like, look at them. They don't want this. We want this. And they took that same kind of bravado out in the second or in the overtime, and I thought, again, created some danger, and we were proactive. And in the end, it's just making a play on a good cross. Collins had a nice ball in, and Jansen got up and challenged, and yeah, it was fun, really fun.
How different is the bracket this year? Last year you had Lipscomb and took a huge step up to play all the ACC teams. Today it feels like Akron is not that different of a level from Denver or Penn or anybody, or maybe Virginia's a little bit, but it feels like a much more like level bracket throughout instead of like going from down here to up here as you go on.
I think what we'll see, and I say this all the time, Big Ten prepares you, we're going to see different styles. Now that we know we're past Akron, with a Denver, it's going to be a way different type of game. They play different, their personality is different, and so you got to be able to win in different ways, different places, and different styles. I think the Big Ten prepares you for that. ACC, I think has a lot of guys or teams that play very similarly, so I don't know, again, if that prepares you as much as the Big Ten. But the Big East is a good conference. I just felt that some of the top teams were down a little bit, that are more kind of deep tournament teams, and therefore we looked at their schedule and said, guys, our advantage is they haven't played the toughness of our schedule, and I think that gave them some confidence.
Patty was good.
Were you gonna ask about that?
Yeah,
Oh,
go
I
ahead.
was gonna ask about him too.
Go ahead.
He was all over the field tonight. Just how impactful was he today?
Oh, sorry.
It's winning time, so it's I mean, it's the play in the box, the slide tackle, the second. I mean, like those are you can make a highlight tape of that. He just is always in winning moment plays, and he has the incredible aerobic gift. I mean, as they're fatiguing, he just feels like he gets more excited. It's like they're dead. I still can go, and he's just got a lot of experience to help the guys. Thought his voice was good today. Thought Charlie did a really nice job coming to midfield. Wagner was again fatiguing a bit, and we want to be a little more attack minded at that point. And Charlie is more attack minded, so I think it's again. But everyone was ready to go. Barger didn't start, but he was ready. Clay gave us good minutes. Hadn't played in a while. We didn't use a few others that we have, but the bench and the guys' readiness was great. Barger didn't sulk and go, "Why am I not starting?" He's like, "Yeah, when you need me, I'll be ready." And I felt that was a really good secondary win today. It shows that we have a team that believes in each other and is willing to take whatever role to win.
Coach, now 10 straight years going to the third round. Do you let that sink in, or do you just focus on the next game?
Yeah, I mean it's a great thing. We just want to get to the Final Four and then see if we can win 2 games. That's really all in my mind. The consistency I'm proud of. Yeah, I am proud of that. But in this moment, like right now, it doesn't really enter my mind. I think when the seasons are over and you're looking at kind of where are we, then yeah, you sit back. Like that allows us to say we're consistent, right? I don't know if anyone's maybe close to it, but Austin, give us those stats. Yeah, with some good nuggets, right?
It was a very physical match. Do you think that fuels your team and gets them like more amped up throughout the game?
Yeah, I thought they had some smart tactical fouls that I thought he did a good job of giving yellows to. I thought he could have done it earlier. Once we break through in transition, that's when we're very dangerous, and they knew that. I didn't expect to be that physical. Honestly, I didn't, but our guys handled it well. They weren't rattled. Again, we play against some teams that are physical, so it's not the first time. I don't think they play against as many teams as are athletic as us, and kind of relentless with our mentality. So I think that, again, gave us an advantage today.
Neutralizing a guy as prolific and as clinical as Iskalainen, like what impressed you the most with your back line and your center back?
Yeah, he's very good. His movement is savvy. You can tell he's been around the game. Obviously, he comes from a great lineage with his family, and his second movements, his fading, where he appears in the box. We just kept talking about you need to feel and know where he is at all times. And we weren't man marking him, but there was a touch tight mentality all day. And the other thing he does, he just brings guys in with his heading. And anytime they play into him, they're always moving off of him. And as you know, 19 and 5 both have really explosive pace, similar to what our wingers have. So that's where they get teams is they'll sleep a little bit. He'll find little knockdowns. They're driving, and they really surge the box well late with 10 and 25. So they have tons of pullbacks, tons of numbers, just suffocating you. And that's where they get chances. And I thought when 5 did get around us, we had good numbers and we solved it. And we didn't give them that many quality looks. And that was good, our defensive tracking and not letting 9 get free. But yeah, he was a big part of the scout. He's a very good player. I mean, 23 goals, right? That's what he had. I haven't seen over 20 in a lot of years in college soccer. It's just hard to do that.
Anything else for Coach?